welcome to Ashley's Heart Song. This is the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, and our business. When we tap into the song of our heart, that is when we master the mind and the stress that can steal our life. Welcome to today's show. This is a special show today. We are going to be bringing in an idea around slow through the holidays. Now, I don't know about you, but in my past experience with the holidays, it tends to run a little fast, a little speedy. The calendar has a lot in it, and in that, there can be a shortage of time, a feeling that there is a shortage of time. And anytime we feel like there is a shortage of time, what happens to that internal rhythm in here? That internal rhythm starts to speed up, and it go, 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 go. And when that happens, our stress levels skyrocket, anxiety begins to rise, and we tend to not feel like we have the energy and the mindset of, if I can just get through the holidays, it'll all be okay. Y'all, that is no way to go through the holidays. And this became I guess you could kind of call it a pet peeve of mine since my children were little, because I fell into that. You've heard me talk about the anxiety years. And during the anxiety years, this is what it felt like for me. It was just fast, go, 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 stress, stress around time, stress around money, stress around emotions. It was a full gamut of stress and anxiety, and that's no way to go through the holidays. And it's no way to go through the holidays of just thinking, if I can just get through the holidays. Oh, this is a time for peace. This is a time for love. This is a time for us to know that all is well all the time. And it's not just about the holidays. If you happen to be watching this show on a replay and it's June, the same thing applies. We can do the same thing during the summer, schedule a whole lot in there. And all of a sudden we feel shortage of time, shortage of money, shortage of emotions and tempers. And so it's really something that when we look at it from the holiday perspective and in the holiday time, that is a great opportunity to build our muscles. And that's what I want to work with you today on and maybe share with you a few things that I did and a few things that I share with my clients to do in order to slow the mode. So many of you may have that ebook of mine, Slow Mode is Your Power Source. And it's all about slowing down so you gain more energy and more vibrancy. And the holidays is a really, really, really good time to practice that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to just dive in here in just a minute, because first, we have to check that vitality score. The vitality score lets us know where we are on speed. Are we fast or are we slow? Are we taking the time to breathe and enjoy the moment, or are we rushing through the holidays just to get them over with? So let's check it out. Physically, where are you today on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you with your physical body? Do you feel strong? Do you feel like you have plenty of energy to get through to the end of your day? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you don't feel energized, you feel fatigued, maybe you feel a little weak. 10 is you feel really strong. So where are you on that scale? Put down your number. The next on the list is your mental health, your mental capability today. Where are you mentally? Are you at a 1 where you're a little moody, edgy, short-tempered? Or are you a 10 where you feel balanced, mentally, clarity? My apologies. I just gave you the stuff for emotions. So let's go back to the mental. So mentally, where are you today? Mentally, are you sharp and clear? That's a 10. Or are you mentally slow? Are you mentally foggy? That's going to get you around a 1. So where are you on the mental scale? Now, put down your number. Now let's go down to the emotional. Emotional, are you a little edgy? Are you moody? That's around a 1. Or do you feel like your emotions are spot on? You feel balanced? You feel free emotionally? That's going to get you around a 10. And then put down your number. Then we're going to move down to the spiritual body, the spiritual essence of you. Are you aligned? Do you feel one? Do you feel centered? That is going to score you close to a 10. Or do you feel completely disconnected today? Do you feel alone, lost? That's going to be a 1. Tally up your scores. High score is a 40. When you put all 4 of those together, high score is a 40. This is not a time to judge. It's just a time for you to see. And if you have been feeling a little disjointed and maybe low energy, then this vitality score will tell you what area of your life is wreaking havoc on you and causing that symptom. So look at that vitality score seriously so that you know where you are at any given moment. And then you can work on the area of life that you scored low in and elevate that energy and vitality. All right, so let's move on to our little topic for today around the slow. I truly love slow. Slow changed my life. It truly changed my life. When I think back to times in my life, and I'd like for you to just take a kind glance back and review how you've been in your life. What decades were you at ease, and what decade were you anxious and just gripping? And when we find those times in our life where we've been anxious and gripping, we're probably stressed, anxious, worried, fearful, angry. Any of those fear-based emotions can come up. And when we feel in that place of fear, everything in our physical body is impacted. The health and vitality of our physical body is impacted exponentially. And what I found during this time was that digestive upset occurred. Maybe you found that too. A lot of burping, gassy, bloating. Not only that, it became hard to eat because your stomach got upset with everything you put in your mouth. Maybe you came down with some IBS symptoms, reflux. There's so many different digestive patterns that can follow times of anxiety, times of stress, times of fear, times of angst, of anxiety, of worry, of anger. And when our gut has been impacted, that's when we can really know that stress is wreaking havoc and having a heyday inside the body. Our breath changes. The way you breathe. We are to breathe diaphragmatically, slow, long, smooth, deep, and even. But when we are in those fear-based emotions and when we're rushed and time is short, our breath becomes shallow. We begin to become chest breathers. When we're chest breathers, we begin to overbreathe. And what overbreathing is it's not too much oxygen. It's not enough carbon dioxide. We need carbon dioxide in our body. And when we're under stress and we're breathing, and I use that breathing, that fear breathing that was demonstrated in the old vampire movies, those really old ones, the black and whites. And when the vampire is coming towards the woman and she's in that low cut dress and her chest is heaving and she's, like that, that is stress breathing, fear breathing, anxiety breathing. And when we do that, we tend to bring an imbalance to the oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. And when that happens, you begin to impact the pH levels of all the cellular fluids. Y'all, this is not a pretty picture. It does not paint a pretty picture of health when we are in this state. And in the holiday time, we can really jump into that. We can jump on that bandwagon and let it carry us away. But what I want to encourage you today is to practice being slow and And I'm going to teach you in a little bit some ways in which you can practice slow with your movement, because that is the one thing that helped me turn things around. And that was I slowed my actions. I slowed my movement and my actions so that my breath would get in alignment with the movement. And when that happened, I began breathing long, slow, smooth, deep, and even breaths, which, guess what? Reduced my stress rate, reduced the breath rate for sure, reduced the heart rate, reduces blood pressure, reduces everything. Because when we bring our breath into alignment with the physical body, that is where magic happens. Magic. Pardon me. So we want to do a few steps. It takes a few steps to walk through this. And the first one is, the first thing we want to do is simplify. We simplify things. Y'all, things don't have to be hard. We need to take the hard out of everything that we do. Nothing is hard unless we choose it to be hard. Walking through the holidays doesn't have to be hard. It could be really fun and easy. Getting ready for your launches that are going to take place in January doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. It can be fun. It is the thought pattern that we attach to it that creates the unrest. And so we want to simplify things so that we don't create this hard feeling around whatever it is that we're doing. You know, maybe you're attending a lot of Christmas parties. Maybe you are attending a lot of town fairs and really getting into the spirit of Christmas by going to parades and that kind of thing. And maybe you've got one right after the other. Well, after a while, your energy is going to be depleted. And when our energy is depleted, that's when our stress levels rise. So why not simplify things so that you can enjoy the holidays and everything that they're about? It doesn't mean you don't participate in everything. It means you listen. You stop and you listen to you, the highest version of you, in what would be perfect and ideal for this holiday season. As the second step, we got to listen and tune in and see what is the perfect way for me to experience this holiday season with ease and grace. We must listen. We must hear that voice within. We don't have to participate in everything, just the things that make you feel good. Next, we observe. We observe ourselves inside of all of that. Who you are in any given moment. Are you presenting yourself in the way that you would love to be seen? So when we're experiencing the holidays, and maybe you've looked back on holidays that have happened in the past and you've realized, golly, I was Hanoi Hannah. What happened? Well, what if you noticed when you were starting to get a little edgy, a little short, a little scared, a little fearful, a little worried, a little anxious? Maybe if you were going slow, you simplified things, you were listening to the higher self within, and you began to observe yourself and see, how are you presenting yourself? Are you being seen in a way that you want to be seen? Then you can look back on the holidays and go, oh my gosh, I knocked it out of the park. It was so much fun. Because you would begin to see that it's really fun when you get to this observer segment, because when you are there, when you're the observer of yourself, that is when you begin to recognize and see that a pattern came in. It hitched a ride, because you aren't that edgy person. You're not the moody person, the cranky person, the stress-filled person. You're not that person. That's not who you are. That's simply a pattern that decided to enter in and hitch a ride with you through the holidays. When we're going slow and we're listening and we're tuning in and we're observing ourselves and our movements and our actions, we can then begin to see who is running the show, what pattern is coming into play. And then we can just simply release that and be in awe of the wonder of it all. That's step 4. Be in awe of the wonder, awe of all that can transpire and what you have the power to do. So when we tune into those 4 steps and apply those to every segment of our life, that is when things begin to shift and change through times like the holidays, when it's typically stressful and fast. So today I'm going to bring your attention, your awareness to movement, and how when we simply shift the way we exercise through these times of stress and fast pace, that we can truly shift our mode of operation from one of stress to one of relaxed. So when we are in this, when we are deciding what we want to do for exercise, because let's face it, ladies, typically what is at the top of our mind is that we are not going to gain weight through the holidays. That's typically what's at the top of every woman's mind. Or if it's not at the top of her mind, it's certainly at the back of her mind. And it is coming forward every so often, reminding you, ooh, don't put that in your mouth. You're going to gain weight. Or if you miss that workout, you're going to gain weight. Well, guess what? If you go and work out with that hanging over your head, guess what's going to happen to your workout? It's going to be stress-filled. And what happens when we're stressed? I went over it just a few minutes ago. We begin to overbreathe. Our breathing gets in a stressed breathing versus in a breath rate that matches our movement. Instead, we go into that fast-paced breathing, hard breathing, when really it's not needed. And we begin to overbreathe and wreak havoc on our system, create even more environmental stress within us. So let's shift a little bit our exercise for the holidays. And what I'm encouraging you to do is to do exercise that you can do all nasal breathing. When we nasal breathe, we are breathing in the right amount of oxygen and exhaling the right amount of CO2. And in that, there's this balanced feel, this balanced approach to where your muscles get the energy that they need, the cells are getting the energy that they need, and everything works more in fluidity, in balance. And so slowing down our routines to where we can do all nasal breathing will also help you become stronger. How does it do that? Well, if you've ever noticed when you're out walking, running, if you're doing a boot camp, and at first you have a relaxed breath about you and you're breathing probably through your nose. But then you've also probably been told you breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth. The thing about that is it needs to be in a cadence. And usually runners can get this cadence going pretty good to where the breath in and breath out is very balanced, meaning that exhale is longer than the inhale. And with that, we want to practice breathing only through the nose. So if you're a walker, then I challenge you to go on your walk and only nasal breathe. When you can nasal breathe throughout your entire walk, you are building stamina and strength. You're going to be able to start moving faster. You're going to start moving more effortlessly because of the strength and vitality you have just brought into the body, because you've given your tissues the oxygen that it needs and allowed the tissues to exercise that oxygen out at a rate that is beneficial and not in the way that you would overbreathe. So if we overbreathe and we have too much carbon dioxide or not enough carbon dioxide, then there's not that balance within our in the chemistry within our body, and you begin to get super fatigued, you begin to tire out easily, you begin to feel like maybe you can't finish your workout. And so nasal breathing will help you build up strength and stamina for the more intense workouts. But slowing down through the holidays and getting it to where, okay, I'm just going to do nasal breathing exercises, you will notice that you're going to have more energy, clarity of thought, balanced emotions. You're going to feel really, really, really good. And so I'm going to also show you some moves that you can do during the middle of your day. If you notice that you're working on something and all of a sudden you're starting to chest breathe, then what can you do to release that? Because the chest breathing is going to cause you to overbreathe as well. And it is stressful. It's stressful on the system. That free radical damage begins to take place. I love bringing breath and movement together, like in yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, because in that it syncs the body-mind complex to where they begin to work together in movement together. It increases our body awareness. It deepens muscle engagement. So if you want to get more tone, if you want to become stronger, then you will want to slow down and breathe with your movement. Allow your breath to become in alignment with the movement. And I'll demonstrate this again here in just a second. This can also reduce your risk of injury. So if you are experiencing stress through the holidays, then doing a workout like yoga, qigong, tai chi, doing a slow moving meditation workout will help you reduce your risk of injury during this high stress time and help you to bring that stress level down a little bit at a time. So I hold a retreat a couple of times a year, and we do qigong segments throughout the retreat. Some breath, some meditation, some moving. And whenever we get done at the very end of the retreat, we do this qigong segment that helps elevate the heart center so that we can write out our heart song. And at the end of that, every time people say, "Oh my God, I feel so good when I do that. I feel in harmony. I feel at ease. My breath is relaxed. I'm just calm." And wouldn't it be great to feel that all the time, every day? Now, we are human beings and we are going to experience stress. We're going to experience tough stuff. That's just it. We're going to experience tough stuff. But if we are in a practice where we are slowing our movements and getting them in alignment with the breath, then we can begin experiencing the harmony, the calmness, the peace, the ease. So right now, I want to share with you just a couple of moves that you can do during this time so that you can begin to experience this alignment as well. So I'm going to move my camera down just a little bit. You'll just see the upper part of my body, but that's really all you have to see. So typically when we are in the middle of our day and we notice we're chest breathing, or maybe our shoulders are up here while we're typing, we've got some tension. And so it's nice to just shake it out. So I'm shaking my legs back and forth. Just shake it out. Shake the shoulders. You can bounce a little bit. You can shake it up top and around. And I'm not leaping off the floor or anything. My feet are staying on the ground. It's just my heels are just doing a little bit of ballistic bouncing. And just shake it out. And then we stand with our feet together. And we're in this position. This is called the Wuji position. Palms are forward. And what you want to do is just Notice your breath. That's all you're doing right now, is noticing your breath. How are you breathing? Is it chest breathing? Is it diaphragmatic breathing? How are you breathing? And one way that you can tell is place a hand over your tummy and a hand on your chest. And now simply be present, tune in, and is your hand moving first or is your chest moving first? If your hand is moving first, then you're diaphragmatically breathing. If the chest is moving up and down and the hand's going with it, then you know that you're chest breathing. That's more of a stressful breathing. So here we are, breathing, just tuning in with the breath. Just let that get in rhythm. So breathe in for 4. Exhale for, let's do 5 first. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breath in for 4. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now breathe in for 4 again. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, breath in for 4. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now place the hands back to the sides and see if you can continue to diaphragmatically breathe without placing your hands up there. How you doing? We want the diaphragm to move in and out. And I do classes on breath work, on breath techniques, different breath exercises that you can do. So if you are of interest in that, then be sure and send a note wherever you're watching this video. It'll say subscribe now, or connect with me here, and you can message me through one of those social media platforms. Facebook, I'm Ashley Frederick Torian, and on Instagram it is Ashley Torian. And you can message me through any one of those, and I can let you know when the next breath work class is. There will be one in January. Usually once a quarter, I like to throw in a breath work. So feel free to connect with me and I can share that with you. But one of the exercises that I'd love to, or activities that I love to do in the middle of the day, is once I've shaken it off and just bounced a little bit and then connected with the breath, then I just step out a little bit and this is called running the chi wall, washing the chi wall. And I just bring my hands up and down with the breath. So it's breathing in and exhaling. So when I'm inhaling, if my breath stops right here at the mid waist, then I'm going to exhale and bring it back down. And then inhale again. And hopefully each time, the idea is for each time for the hands to be able to get higher and higher with the inhale. Because we don't want to force a breath. We want to breathe in an amount that's comfortable and then send it right back out. And a breath in that's comfortable. And down. Exhale all the air, inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more. And exhale. Now I want you just to tune in for a moment. Bring your hands down to your sides and just notice. Notice how you feel. Do you feel more relaxed, more at ease? If you feel 50% better, then just continue again. Breath in and out. You can do this as many times as you like until you feel yourself really slowing down. And the breaths get more expansive. Let's do another. Slowing down our breath with the movement will have tremendous impact on our stress levels, on our energy, our mood. Breath in as the hands go up, breath out as they come down. Breath in and out. And what we're doing is we're just syncing up the body-mind complex. Just sync it up to where you are in sync between the physical body and the mental body. This also brings balance to the emotions, takes out the moody and the edgy, and brings ease, peace, and calm to your very soul. And then just hold it here for a moment. Checking in again, notice how you feel. Notice if you're relaxed or if there's any tension in the body. And if there's still tension in the body, then you can just take a breath in, send that breath to that area of tension. Notice a color that comes to your eye. Maybe it's dark and cloudy because it's tight and tense. And then exhale. Just exhale the rest of that tension out of your body. And then go back to relaxed breathing. Ease and calm. Ease and calm. Now, if you're a weightlifter, then you can lift weights slowly. So you are exhaling. Anytime you're exerting force, you're exhaling. And then you're inhaling when you're bringing it down. And by exercising very slowly, you are syncing the body-mind complex. You are increasing the utilization of the muscle tissue and the energy that is within the pistons of the muscle. And you are building greater strength, greater size. The slower you go with weight training, the increased muscle that you will build. So nice and slow on your repetitions. And if you're doing shoulder press, nice and slow on the shoulder press. Very slowly exhale the air as you're pushing. Remember, anytime you're exerting force, you're exhaling. And when you're relaxing, you're breathing in. Breathe it in. Diaphragmatically, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And relax. Good. So you can also do some isometric work that way. And when you do isometric work, you're also building the muscles and the strength and the toning of those muscles. You can do so much slow. Your body gets so much benefit out of moving slow. Quicker, faster is not always where the power and the goodness is. It's not where the juiciness takes place. We honor the physical body because when our body is operating in parasympathetic state, we are stronger there. We are balanced. We are in alignment. When we're in sympathetic stress response, that's when our body is cannibalizing. We're not gaining strength. In short spurts, we can gain strength, but over long term, if you're long-term stress, that does not build strength at all. It increases fat and adipose tissue. You don't want that. You want to increase lean tissue. So we get out of the stress, out of that sympathetic stress response, and we bring a more parasympathetic state to our exercise on a more regular basis, especially through the holidays. And then you will notice that you might not gain that holiday 5 or holiday 10. You will probably be the same weight you were when you started the holidays. Y'all, there's power in that. There is so much goodness in that. My message for you today is to bring the peace in. The peace, bring the peace, that way of operation into your body. That is the most important state of operation that you can be in at any given time. But in the holidays, it adds that extra goodness to where you will truly enjoy yourself through the holidays. You won't be pent up. You will be relaxed and at ease and laughing and joy filled. And that is what we want through the holidays. We want to be healthier, stronger, and feeling the goodness within. Thank you so much for joining me for Ashley's Heart Song today. Please click subscribe or message me privately so that you can get on our list. And I would love to see you at the next episode. So tune in every Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time for Ashley's Heart Song. And I look forward to seeing you then as we continue to armor up our lives.